gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle, they should feel that way. So if he feel that way, more power to him. I had one fight, and the fight wasn't actually.
Terence Crawford is leaving no stone unturned as he prepares for a monumental showdown against Canelo Alvarez. Aware of the challenges posed by the weight difference, Crawford has taken proactive steps to ensure he's fully prepared. He has enlisted the expertise of Floyd Mayweather, the first fighter to defeat Canelo Alvarez in the ring. Crawford has resumed training camp earlier than usual to focus on building the necessary weight and adapting to the new weight class ahead of their anticipated clash in September. Despite planning a short mid-year break, his commitment to readiness is clear. Welcoming Mayweather into this camp has been a significant move. The two fighters shared valuable time together, with most of the focus on sharpening Crawford's defense. Mayweather, known for his unparalleled defensive skills, worked extensively with Crawford on techniques like the shoulder roll, advanced footwork, and body feints.
It wasn't my idea. So at one particular time, you guys can, anybody, you can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him.
These elements were pivotal in Mayweather's victory over a young, 23-year-old Canelo Alvarez when Mayweather, in his mid-30s, showcased a defensive masterclass that left Canelo struggling to land clean punches over 12 rounds. Mayweather's legacy as a trainer has grown in recent years, with notable names like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Gervonta Davis benefiting from his boxing wisdom. Now, Crawford has joined the list of fighters learning from Mayweather, and the collaboration seems fitting. Despite Crawford's impressive record of 40 fights, the decision to seek Mayweather's guidance at this stage in his career highlights the significance of his upcoming challenge. Crawford's next fight marks his debut at 168 pounds, a major step for the 36-year-old. Recognizing Mayweather's experience as a 5-division world champion, Crawford saw him as the perfect mentor for navigating this transition. Reflecting on their training sessions, Mayweather also revisited memories of his iconic victory over Canelo, emphasizing the importance of defensive brilliance in such high-stakes bouts. With this mentorship, Crawford aims to elevate his game and make a strong statement in his new weight class. I had one fight at a catchweight, but it wasn't my idea. Anyone can look this up. It's all documented. At one point, I believe Canelo thought I was afraid of him. He claimed I didn't want to fight him and said he was willing to meet me at 152 or 152.5 pounds. So I called his bluff and agreed to the terms. After Canelo made the weight, there was no clause restricting him from gaining weight afterward. He weighed in at 152 or 152.5 pounds, but likely entered the ring at around 168 or even close to 170.
The king. So you think you guys got a lot in common? In some aspects, yeah. We do. How are you guys different? Both.
Meanwhile, I stayed at 151 or 152 pounds. Despite the size difference, the outcome spoke for itself. That fight showed the importance of skill, strategy, and preparation over size or weight. It was a defining moment that demonstrated my ability to adapt and succeed under any conditions. Even though boxing fans have made harsh comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr., Terence Crawford may have believed that this was sufficient for him as well, because he had a lot to learn about the new weight class he would be going to in less than a month. Bud was unwilling to deny the 50-0 boxing champion his due accolades. When questioned about their commonalities, Lawrence Crawford added a few additional things to express his admiration for Floyd Mayweather. He is joking. Crawford acknowledged Floyd's greatness and commended him.
Hit and not get hit, and to make the adjustments that he's made to certain fighters.
We're a little different since I take more chances, but we have a lot in common in other ways, he added. He was also taking a lot of chances in his profession earlier on. All that matters is which Floyd Mayweather it is. Hey, you are talking about money, but you're talking about property, oh boy, because he's the greatest destroyer. He was fighting larger and going up until he started to get hand injuries that made it difficult for him to maintain his power. They have a lot in common, as Crawford stated, but boxing supporters and fans have compared the two fighters to determine who is superior, and when they did, a news outlet predicted that Crawford would prevail in a bout between the two. It's difficult to find a more impressive creator.
I think, I take more chances,
Excuse me, Crawford.
right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So,
Creator of scientific master courses than Floyd Mayweather when it comes to boxing prowess. George's precise timing of his jab and his ability to counterpunch allowed Mayweather to choose his opponents from a large list, and he accomplished this across two incarnations of himself.
Rich from the left hooks again. And the lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him. And then he hit his head off the Gomez here at the MGM.
Crawford aptly noted that Floyd Mayweather evolved into two distinct versions of himself throughout his career. Pretty Boy Floyd was an aggressive, offensive force, bringing the fight to his opponents with relentless energy. Meanwhile, Money Mayweather became a defensive mastermind, outsmarting and outclassing opponents with calculated precision. Whether fans prefer the aggression of his earlier years or the strategic brilliance of his later style, both versions of Mayweather contributed to the legend he is today. Similarly, boxing fans are still in awe of what Terence "Bud" Crawford achieved in his recent fight against Errol Spence Jr. Crawford's performance was nothing short of masterful. Whether it was the power jab that repeatedly pierced through Spence's guard, his precision counterpunching, or his ability to dominate exchanges in close quarters, Crawford showcased supreme boxing ability. While Crawford has consistently delivered impressive performances, his dismantling of Spence, a fighter of such elite caliber, was unprecedented. Comparing Mayweather's and Crawford's styles raises fascinating questions. Mayweather's mastery of the sweet science made him nearly untouchable, combining unparalleled defense with a light counterpunching. Crawford's style, though different, is equally effective and explosive, blending sharp angles, impeccable timing, and punishing power. If Crawford in his prime were to face Mayweather in his, how would their skills stack up? Would Crawford's laser-like shots penetrate Mayweather's disciplined defense? Who would assert their jab first? Who would prove to be the more effective counterpuncher? The potential outcomes are so intriguing that many might call it a draw. Mayweather's ability to lure opponents into the center of the ring, analyze their tendencies, and exploit their weaknesses was a hallmark of his success. His mantra of hit and not get hit earned him an undefeated record and 5 division world championships.
To the head, the way he rolls with punches. Look at the way he makes them miss. I mean, here we go. Through a series of punches and nothing really landed. Terrific fight for Mayweather. Oh.
Crawford, with his own high ring IQ, has proven to be just as cerebral in his approach. Where Mayweather excelled in hand speed, especially in counterpunching, Crawford's ability to deliver shots from unpredictable angles gives him a speed advantage. Of Mayweather's 50 wins, 27 came by knockout. In comparison, Crawford boasts 31 knockouts and 40 victories, and his dominance continues. Crawford's recent dismantling of Spence, dropping him 3 times en route to a 9th-round TKO, further cemented his reputation. Defeating a power-punching, body-snatching fighter like Spence, who had systematically broken down the likes of Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Yordenis Ugas, was no easy feat. Yet Crawford made it look effortless, with his power playing a decisive role. Mayweather's brilliance in the Philly shell, absorbing shots with his shoulder while delivering pinpoint counters, epitomized defensive boxing at its finest. In Crawford, however, the sport has a different kind of wizard, a fighter whose explosiveness and skill continue to elevate him among the greats. Terence Crawford's defensive skills are undeniably slick, but Floyd Mayweather elevated defensive boxing to near perfection. Imagining how a fight between a prime Crawford and Mayweather would unfold is a dream scenario for boxing fans. In the opening round, Both fighters would feel each other out, showcasing their high ring IQs. Crawford might appear to be the busier fighter early on, landing shots even if many are absorbed by Mayweather's impeccable shoulder roll defense. As the fight progresses into the middle rounds, Mayweather's calculated style would come into play. His precise jabs and methodical approach could bank him rounds through consistency and control. However, Crawford's explosiveness and ability to land sharp, whiplashing punches might be enough to hurt Mayweather at times, keeping the fight competitive. In such a tightly contested matchup, Crawford's volume and pressure might sway the judges, giving him a narrow points victory over Mayweather's defensive brilliance. While it's speculative, this hypothetical battle would showcase the finest elements of the sport, blending Mayweather's sweet science with Crawford's power and adaptability. Moving beyond comparisons, Crawford's upcoming move to a higher weight class presents its own set of challenges. Jumping in weight is a difficult feat, and Crawford is determined not to repeat the mistakes of Canelo Alvarez when he faced Mitri Bivol. Canelo, a 4-division champion, struggled against the unbeaten WBA light heavyweight champion in their bout.
Look at this defense, unbelievable. Young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong. You're wearing, then he's nowhere. You think you... And again, it's not just hand quickness.